Hello, friends, all my 12th standard friends. Welcome on 100 on 100 and Eco platform. Professor Gauri Khare starting with preparation of prelim series. Do join me for this series in order to excel in economics and do share, like, subscribe to my channel. I will be taking up one 6-mark question per chapter, which is most frequently asked in the past board exam. If you would like to have more discussion with me on any of the chapters, do write to me in the email which is written in the description box below. So today I'll get started with one question on demand chapter, which is why does demand curve slope downward, or what are the reasons for the downward slope of the demand curve? Here are the reasons. Law of diminishing marginal utility, income effect, substitution effect, increase in the number of users and several uses of a commodity. Coming to the law of diminishing marginal utility states that as the consumer goes on increasing the consumption of a commodity, the marginal utility derived from the consumption of an additional unit goes on falling. A consumer is willing to pay a price for a commodity which is equivalent to the utility he derives. Therefore, if the consumer derives lesser and lesser utility by consuming more and more, he is willing to pay lesser and lesser for more and more. This itself establishes the inverse relationship between price and demand. Coming to the income effect. Income effect is the effect on demand resulting out of change in the real income of a consumer, which is resulting out of the change in the price of the commodity. Oh, wasn't it a bit complicated? No. Income effect is the effect on demand resulting from the change in the real income resulting from the change in the price of the commodity. That means when a price of a commodity changes, either falls or rises. For example, if a commodity becomes cheaper, the real income of a consumer increases because the consumer is able to purchase more quantity. Therefore, the consumer's real income increases as the price falls. If he does not want to consume that much quantity, he can save by consuming lesser quantity, and thus money saved can be utilized for purchasing another commodity. So, effect on demand, as he bought another commodity, effect on demand as a result of change in the real income, which we just saw that there was a change in the real income due to change in the price of the commodity. So first price changes, then real income changes, and then effect on demand is seen. All right. Remember, the factor influencing income on demand is different than income effect. Coming to the substitution effect. Substitution effect says that the substitution effect is the effect that the change in the price of a commodity has on the demand for a substitute good. As a commodity's price changes, we observe a change in the demand for its substitute. Then you can explain the example with the help, then you can explain the substitution effect with an example of any soft drink or any shampoo or any edible oil. As the price of, say for example, rice bran oil increases, consumers find sunflower oil relatively cheaper. Do not forget to use the word relatively cheaper. In absolute terms, sunflower oil has not become cheaper, the price of sunflower oil remaining constant. It has relatively become cheaper because the substitute's price has increased. Consumers will substitute the costlier commodity with the cheaper commodity, and thus we see increase in the demand for the cheaper commodity. This establishes increase in the demand for this sunflower oil as a result of change in the price of rice bran oil. Number of consumers, change in the number of consumers or increase in the number of consumers as price falls. Those consumers who were not the consumers when the price was high now become consumers in the market because they enter the market in order to get the chance of purchasing the commodity as the commodity has become cheaper. So increase in the number of consumers leads to increase in the demand on account of fall in the price. Inverse relationship. Going ahead with the several uses of a commodity, this is similar to the joint demand. If a commodity can be put to several uses, and in such a case, if the price rises, the demand falls by a huge quantity as consumers start consuming lesser and lesser of such a commodity because the expenditure incurred in such a case is very large. So do remember that this question is very important from the exam point of view, and do keep watching the next video. I'd like to see you meet you all with your more and more friends in the next episode. Bye.